What's going on with the explosion of female teachers having sex with their male students? And is there a double standard? Let's talk about it.
The world is an insane asylum, and the inmates are in charge.
Welcome to Inverted Reality TV. I'm your host, TL Swope. And today I'd like to talk to you about the explosion in sexual perversions or sexual assaults on young men, some as young as 12 and 13 years old by female teachers. I've been noticing this over the last probably 3 to 4 years, but the last 2 years, it has really skyrocketed. I mean, there are just pages and pages. If you do a Google search on female teachers having sex with male students, you will just find pages of articles and pages of mugshots of teachers, many of which are very nice looking. And, you know, back when I was in school, most of the teachers looked nothing like that. But I digress. But these teachers are apparently troubled, very troubled, because they are taking advantage of these young men, and they know that their, hormones are racing and raging, and that they know that they're nice-looking women, and so it'd be very easy for them to take advantage of these young men for whatever reason that they are engaging in their sexual proclivities. One thing that I saw just recently that kind of troubled me. There was a New York Post video with a psychiatrist on it that he touched on this point. But then when it got near the end, he started giving out sympathy for the women, trying to kind of like throw a bone out there to get sympathy because of, supposedly that they were married or they had children and this and that, and they had to give up their licenses, and they were good teachers and they can no longer teach anymore and all that. But at the same time, there's no such sympathy for the male perpetrators, the male teachers who have sex with the female students. So I just want you to take a look at this video, and then I'll comment on it at the end. And I'd like to get some response for you to tell me what you think about this, because I am beginning to see, just like the acceptance of pedophilia, the acceptance of all kinds of perverted things in this nation, that this is they're starting to ask for sympathy for females who are virtually just they're predators, they're sexual predators, just as if it were a man. So take a look at this video, and I'll be right back.
It is a crime for a teacher to have sex with a child. We're seeing more women who are being arrested for these crimes. In the past, women were not arrested. It may very well be that this has been going on for a much longer period of time, but now that we're arresting the women, we're seeing this phenomenon. These are women who are married. These are women who are dating. These are women who have children. These are women who may have been divorced, and they are trying to recreate something in their mind to bring them back to a childhood situation where they had their first sexual arousal and emotional arousal. Especially younger teachers who may be just 23 and may see the high school relationships with her students as not very different from what she had when she was trying to date and find passion in relationships. And often the boundary then gets lost between the teacher and the student. But you do have the authority of the teacher over the student. It's a very powerful one. The child may look adult, they may have fully developed genitals, but they are not equipped to deal emotionally with the relationship of falling in love or falling into sex with a teacher. All of the teachers I have been involved with in my practice, their marriages ended. The children took sides, and people treated the teacher as a monster. Many of them get hospitalized psychiatrically or put on heavy medication. Many of these teachers are good teachers, and they're never going to practice again, and they have to give up their license to practice. It's horrible what people can do when a lust relationship becomes associated with attachment.
Okay, we're back now. And what do you think? Now, I feel that, he made a few good points along the way. But then at the end, it began to take a little pivot, if you will, bringing in the sympathy. And I'm just, seeing a trend with all this pedophilia, the stuff that's going on in Hollywood with the children, all the sex trafficking of the children by the UN and different other agencies and the elites. And I just feel that there's a connection here, that they're beginning to try and sway public opinion in this area. Now, these young men, I mean, he stated that, they're not ready for this, and true enough, but I mean, how is that going to affect their relationships with other young women their age, or even younger women or girls? No one knows what kind of effects this is going to have. And it should be of a concern with the way we have women being treated in this country today as a whole, the disrespect, the lack of morals and values that I saw when I came up. Not to say that there weren't things going bad and that there weren't, abuse and beatings and things going on, but it was a lot less. And it was something that, rarely you heard about, at least in my area. You didn't when I was coming up. I mean, it happened, true enough, but most families had parents and they were stable and pretty functional, not dysfunctional. But that being said, tell me what you think. Am I going too far? Am I trying to read too much into this? Or, is there really something going on? Are these women going on websites and getting hooked on porn like a lot of the men who become sexual deviants? Could it be something else? Maybe it's something I overlooked. Could it be that the women do deserve sympathy, that, hey, it's okay to go ahead and give these young men a taste of a life, if you will? I'm here to try to find out what you think. I think, as I said, that it's part of a bigger problem, part of a bigger plan by people in the background. You can call me conspiracy theorist, if you will, but I've seen things over the years and I watched things progress. So, as I said, let me know what you think. Comment, rate the video, share it, subscribe, if you will. Let me know what you think. Until next time, this is TL signing out.